I think you've answered what you view as the top 2 or 3 issues facing the city. What I'm wondering a little bit too is in your relationship with other council members, let's say there is an issue that you find yourself on the minority in. How do you deal with that? How do you deal with working with the other members of the council in a case like that?
I kind of learned my lesson the first term I was in. I tried to bring forward a couple of things, and I learned what it's like to be motioning something and not getting a second. It was an interesting experience. However, I think if you watch the way the Woodland Council operates, we rarely have split votes. We're almost always 5-0. There are rare occasions when we have 3-2s or 4-1s, but generally the council puts aside anything that might be considered bickering or personality issues, and we work together. Even when we disagree with each other, we work together to what we perceive to be the best thing for the city. So we're not a really contentious council. In fact, I guess I can brag a little bit. When we were searching for our new city manager, we had 80 or 90 applications come in, and I couldn't figure out why. And then one of the people doing the searching, the job search, said that the word was out in the region that Woodland City Council is a great council to work with. That, for our staff, that our city managers, that we're really good to work with. We do our homework. We answer our questions before we get into the council meetings. We have fairly short council meetings, not because we're rubber stamping, but because we've got the groundwork done before we get in there. I'm a consensus person. I like to build consensus. I don't need to charge to the top of the hill and carry the flag and be the winner. So that's how I operate on the council. If I can work with one other council member and get consensus and rely on what I think another person might be going, if I think I'm going to have a problem, then I'm good. If we have 3-2 votes and the things that I'm concerned about don't go forward, I have to bring it back some other way and do a better job at getting together a consensus.
Okay, great.
What specifically have you done over the last 2 or 3 years to help build the awareness in your community of the values you feel make you a good Democrat?
Okay. Oh, and one of the things I forgot to mention earlier was that we haven't really investigated public-private partnership as much as we should have. We've relied on the redevelopment district, and I think that's something I want to bring back, is do more public-private partnership investing for economic development and investment downtown. We relied on the RDA too much, and now we can't. I'm a real affordable housing advocate. I've made that very clear. And when I worked with Neil Peart on the master plan for Spring Lake, we brought in affordable housing builders, we brought in affordable housing advocates, we put together what I think is a very aggressive ordinance for Spring Lake that then wound up for the city. And also, I'm not a believer in just zoning. I've made this statement too. I don't believe in just zoning the property and then not building it. If you're going to say you're going to build affordable housing, build the affordable housing, and if you can't build it in your development, give us the money and we will. So we've done that. I'm a real supporter of Habitat for Humanity, and I was their Women's Build honorary chairwoman this year, and I'm trying to get a couple more lots for them in Spring Lake for this next year for another building. On the block grants, I make it, I think, pretty clear that I want the money to go to community services as much as possible, as much as feasible. I'm really working with community groups to try to get them to coordinate their applications so that we only have 1 or 2 grants that we have to manage instead of $5,000 and $10,000 grants, which, it's the same staff time. And then there's a whole bunch of them. So I work on that. I support the Concilio and their scholarship program. I've helped them and the Woodland Schools Foundation. And also with the redevelopment agency, we were trying to get a structure like Davis. I love your farmers market in Davis. And we were trying to get a structure built in Freeman Park, but now that's been put on hold because, again, the state kind of locked up the redevelopment money. But that was one of the projects I was supporting. And also the restoration of the State Theater as an extension. And I would like to see it as a performing arts center. So I'm a real fan, again, of preservation of the historical structures in downtown and in the city, frankly, what the city's done. So I'm pretty vocal. I think people recognize that. I joke that I'm the furthest on the left from the mayor.
So those are answering some of what being a good Democrat is.
Yeah.
As an aside, or to follow up a little bit on that, we've noticed in recent years that the registered Democrats have gone up in Woodland. What do you think can be done? Like, what do you think the Central Committee can do to make a more active group of Democrats in Woodland? Because the Woodland Democratic Club has been active at times, but it has ebbed and flowed.
Yes,
How do you
I know.
think we can make it flow?
Well, I think you need to identify some people who can do that for you. I know Leslie Marcus was really involved, and now she, of course, has cancer and is not doing well. I know that Art Pimentel did for a while, but now he's involved with his supervisor race, and so I don't know if he has the time or not. I think you have some good standard bearers for the Democratic Party there. It's just you're going to need to identify them, and I can't help you with that. I don't know. I have to say I don't know how you do that. You must have a network. You have a Democratic network of people. I know the people who come to the bean feed. I mean, I think that would be the first place to start. Again, Marcus, they've been so central. Leslie and Bill, they've been so central there. Maybe Gary Sandy could help you.
Yeah, they've been the core.
Yeah.
With Leslie being. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know she was really active in the '08 campaign for the Obama campaign.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to sum up, issues, experience, etc., forget it. What about you? Why should make me vote for you? Why should I vote for you?
I've done my learning curve. You don't have to expect me to start from square one. I think I know not only how local government works and what works best in local government. I've also done work at the regional level, the county level, and lobbied at the federal level. So I think I can be effective in getting Yolo County and Woodland what it needs. I've never missed a council meeting. I'm totally committed to that job. I take it very seriously. And don't take this the wrong way, but for me, a council member is a member of the representative republic. It's my job to be a steward of the city and the job to represent the people who are all in the city, whether they voted for me or not, whether they like me or not, whether they think I'm too liberal or not. Plus, I think I'm a good balance on the council. I think that, we do have some conservative members of the council, not that politics plays any state, but people's philosophical position does, on whether they're willing to loan money to grant money to a small firm to get their product online, and then to get paid back, those kinds of things. So I think I'm a good balance for that, and I work hard. I'm well versed in issues like planning and municipal finance and infrastructure finance. I did that for a long time when I worked at the County Transportation District, and I've had a lot of work in urban planning, land use planning, all of it. I'm very versed in all the things that a city does, and I understand what a lot of the planning, what a lot of the staff are telling you. They're not speaking a foreign language for me. I'm ready to work with them, which I think is a good thing. But why should people vote for me? Because I do the job. I do the job they expect me to do. I'm not there for me. I'm there for them.